as I was taking a walk the other day, you popped into my head, and I was like, I wonder when, we played basketball twice. We're like, when we're going to play again? I was like, maybe me and Alex will play basketball this week. It's sunny out. As I finished that thought, I look up and you pull up and you're right there with your wife in your car.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty funny. And then your wife says, oh, it's the law of attraction. Do you believe in the law of attraction? And if so, how has it played in your life?
Oh, major, man.
Really?
Like, I think
some people avoid that word like the plague. Some people have a nice, healthy relationship with it. I like to think that it has a big part to do with things.
I think why people may have a bad feeling towards law of attraction or a good one, I think I'm in the middle. You can't be too hyped about it, and you can't be too negative about it. And it's like most things in life. Yeah. I'm always curious about what can this happen. Let's say with the 5-minute journal, even why it's a practice that I owe so much to, in regards to, and it's a way to practice that habit of law of attraction to your life. For example, one of the questions in the morning is, what will make today great? And then that way you have to ask, you have to think and then put down on paper and have that vision expectation of what would be like, what's going to happen today is going to be great. And always we give the example of what is in your power. So, you can't say like, oh, it's going to be sunny and I'm in London, that's what's going to make today great. Like, no, you can't control that. Like, why would you put that down and disappoint yourself? Because outside of your control. So what can you do today that will make your day great? And in that way, you're putting yourself in a position of power and then saying, how can you attract that into your life? So for example, that could be like, I'm going to go out and do a podcast and bring my best positive energy into that interaction and conversation. That's still in your power, but that's still law of attraction, meaning you're already envisioning of how well your interaction will be, but you're still taking action because you still have to show up and be aware that you have to bring your best self.
It's like tipping the scale in your favor almost.
Yeah. But so that's what I believe like law of attraction is, meaning you're expecting a certain positive outcome of what you want to create in your life, but you then take the action to actually do it. Where most people miss on the law of attraction and gets this point, this doesn't work. Well, you're not doing the work. You can't just be like, create a vision board of all these things, although a lot of those things do work, even if you do create it. Because what happens once you create certain visions for yourself, your brain is the most incredible tool, and it's a navigation system. How even you said it in that example of you start thinking of us, and yes, it's serendipity, things happen, but if you but if you weren't thinking of that, I may have just passed you by and you may have not saw me.
Yeah. And the crazy part was I think I had thought of you just before, and I had turned a certain way, and I had stopped with my dog for an extended amount of time right before that because he was being annoying, and I was like, sit and just stay there. And so had I not done these weird few things in a row, I wouldn't have saw you, and that was the weird part.
So I think this is why it's such a great example to lead that question that you said. It's a perfect analogy. So same thing, you can visualize, you can think of the great things that will happen, but if you don't do that, if you don't even do that exercise of visualizing or expecting the good in your life, the next time that an opportunity comes your way, you won't see it. So same thing, if you didn't take that time to think about it, or me, or our interaction, and I could have been there on that corner, you could have been straight looking at that car, and it could have been, oh, that's a cool car, and you didn't see me in it, and you say, oh, that's Alex, cool, let's hang out, hey, how's it going, and see me and kind of connect, because I also kind of like glanced and we connected and we looked. And so it's the same thing with the universe and these ideas, that this is why kind of I've created the life that I have. And going back to the law of attraction, both me and my wife take the time. So even now, as we end up, depending when it airs, but as we're entering this new decade and this new year,
helicopter flying by.
As we enter this new decade and this new year, we already are visualizing where are we going to be in, let's say, the next 3 years. How does my life look like? What does my work look like? What does my circle of friends look like? How do I feel? you know. And if you can take it further, you know, if you can take it further, even like to that big, hairy, audacious goal of like the next decade, even better. And you can still, as we talked about, you can still pivot, you can do stuff, but it is so important as a human, and this is one of our biggest gifts and abilities, is that this is why the reason we created the world that we have, is we can visualize. We can create visions for ourselves. And that's a massive, important skill set that we have versus other animals. You know, your dog doesn't visualize about how he's going to take over the world.
He's just sleeping there. He's not thinking much.
You know, but great for him. It allows him to be more present. But as a way of, we can still utilize this power that we have of visualizing to create a vision for ourselves. Like, I come from very humble beginnings. Like I said, immigrant, single mother, father passed away. Like, I can go into how crappy my, you know, and challenging my journey was. But what helped me overcome, and what has helped many other people overcome even more challenging, way more challenging situations than me in my life, is thinking of a vision of their life in a different way, and then going towards that vision. That's what gives you purpose. That's what gives you meaning. That's what gives you drive. That's what keeps you out of the depression. You know, you get into depression when you're like, life sucks.
Yeah. Funny time to just catch you.